Alright, so now we're gonna study the constellations. Good evening, class. I know it's hard to stay up this late, and I apologize for disturbing your circadian rhythms. I'm not sure I can keep my eyes open much longer. Just try not to drool on me if you doze off. But the night sky has been gloomy and clouded these past few months. Sometimes it seems the heavens themselves reflect our lives on Earth. Sounds like something the centaurs would say. Could you please stop whispering to Mr. Dane? Thank you. Centaur superstition aside, the stars do have a subtle influence on the magic we do here at Hogwarts. We study them because they are mysterious and because they are beautiful. So am I, Miss Elves, and I hope the rest of you are just as enthusiastic. You'll be working on your star charts in pairs, so I recommend you find a good partner. I don't see why not. According to Chilvos, Friends wants us to study the constellation Cetus, and somehow that will help us make a sense of Chiliwani's prophecy. Yeah, why is this the first time we are hearing of it? Honestly, there's been so much happening, it slipped my mind. Final endings and the ultimate price, I have to wonder if it's already come true. It's only just started to come true. Thanks for the pep talk, Cooper. I'd say Trelawney's cracked, and I wouldn't put much stock in the advice of stargazing horses. Pardon me, you're the only one who heard the prophecy. Do you think we need to be worried? We can handle anything together, I'm not worried. If the two of you are done chatting, we really ought to get to work. Alright then, let's see what these constellations... Excellent work, everyone. You're all well on your way to becoming expert astronomers yourselves. You may start packing up while I come around to collect your star shots. Called Cetus, the monster of the deeps. It's in the same region as the sky as a lot of other water-related constellations. This all points back to the Black Lake as the location to the Faunal Coast vaults. Come off it, it's just a coincidence, perhaps, but perhaps not. We should at least hear what Franz has to say. The stars are telling me that there's a nice comfy bed in my future. I'm going to nod off myself. But there's someone I wanted to talk to first. Let us know what you learned from Franz. How'd your star chart turn out? It was you and the foes last night, wasn't it? You knew I would be there, and you warned me about the dangers. I don't know what you're talking about, but if I did, I certainly wouldn't discuss it here. Petrified people aren't as likely to eavesdrop. How they look and no improvement, but that's to be expected. All we can do is find the vault and break the curse, which is why I ignored your warning and went into the Forbidden Forest. Well, it's a good thing I was there too, so it was you who fought off the other werewolf. This is home to more than just Accumantulas, unfortunately. I've run across other werewolves before, and that one is particularly vicious. Thank you for saving us. What's wrong? Everything turned out alright. Glad you were there, Chiara. We would have been werewolf food if you hadn't shown up. Did you at least find what you were looking for? Why did you go to the force? We were looking for clues, anything that could lead us to R. In other words, we were grasping at straws, but we did have a surprise visitor after you chased the werewolf off. So after being attacked by a werewolf, you were accosted by a centaur with a message concerning a grim prophecy. Life you lead, I'd trade it for $1 in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, Wakepix made that impossible. I'm hoping friends' insight into the prophecy will help me stop her and all for good. I hope so too, for your sake and all of Hogwarts. You'll be heading back into the forest tonight. You're going to the Centaur camp. I've never even heard of the Centaurs letting a student visit them. The full moon's passed, but you should still be careful. And thanks again for saving us yesterday. All in the night's work. Beatrix, everything okay? Everything is absolutely wonderful. She's been like that for days. No one's been able to get through to her. Just have to keep trying. I've got some centaurs to talk to, though. It's good to see you. I trust you have been well. Not exactly. Things haven't been great at Hogwarts. I was merely making the small talk, as you people say. Your wizard customs are rather inscrutable to me. Making me a little odd, although I'm sure you'd agree that centaurs aren't much better. Your point is well taken, but you may consider making it more quietly. It is only by the grace of the Horde that you set foot in our camp. It wouldn't do good to offend your hosts. I'm just saying, centaurs and wizards are both strange, isn't that? It's not really that controversial. Tradition keeps the Horde strong, at least that's the prevailing wisdom. And as you are the guest of the Horde, you will do well to respect its customs. Deliver the message about Trelawney's prophecy. I asked the professor. She called it a monster of the deeps. Does this mean the next ghost vault is in the Black Lake? What do you make of it? Trouble said you had some new insights. Be patient, my friend. This is a lot to take in. You're saying I'll face a difficult decision, a powerful adversary, and another loss. What I read in the stars, although the exact nature of these events is slippery and difficult to ascertain. Of that, I think we can be certain, but there is no shadow without light. Tell me that your world is about to open up in ways you can't possibly imagine. You have lived these last 6 years at Hogwarts, but soon your path will take you beyond its protective enchantments. Tell me, when the time comes, will you be ready to walk that path? Oh, it sounds like my fate is already written in the stars. I'll leave it to them to decide what I do. Just don't forget to keep your feet on the ground. What will you do now? I need somewhere quiet to sit and think. Hello there, you're up late, aren't you? I'm returning from the force, if I'm not mistaken. There's no need. I've come to expect the unexpected from you. What was it this time? And what the centaurs had agreed to help me understand it. Told me it meant I'd lose someone, but perhaps not in the way I'd expect. I was referring to one, or whether there was another death in your future. If there's one thing you can always count on, it's death. It comes to all of us. And then, although my friend Nicholas Flamel might disagree, I'd lose someone in the way I didn't expect. What could that mean? I suspect we won't know until it's already come to pass. It could also mean just stop being a friend. But I do know that if you spend your life worrying about the future, the present will pass you by. And what should I do? Just ignore the prophecy? I would encourage you to focus on what you can change. that we are living in the past and that you are looking back on us from the future. What can you do now that you will want to have done later? Well, have you sorted out what your future self would most like your past self to have done? I'd want to have stopped Wickpick and avenge Ron to achieve what at this moment. I suppose it's not. You mentioned wanting to understand your brother better. Why is that? I finally found him. We would go back to the way we were before, but we haven't. I don't mind that he's changed because I've changed too. I just want to know why he is the way he is. My own brother seems like a stranger to me, and yet he knows me better than anyone. You and your brother have a chance to make up for lost time. Don't let it pass by. I don't know how to contact him. You are, after all, out past your bedtime, and I'm still your teacher. I'll just go to bed then. Good night. If you are taking the grand staircase, would you mind speaking to Miss Haywood? I passed her on my way down here, and she looked as though she needed a friend.
You make the hardest task look easy.
Unfinished business, eh? Hello, Beatrix. How's everything going? Alright, I suppose. Shouldn't you be in bed by now? That's where I'm heading now. Beatrix, are you okay? I don't know. You ignored me in the hospital room, and now you're up to staring at portraits. Can't you see why I'd be worried? Because I care about you. We are friends. I'm not Penny. I thought you and Penny had made up. We did, but never mind. Just leave me alone, alright? Mueller's waiting for us. Remember how you three getting along with the training? Better than you. Mueller told me you have been off hobnobbing with centaurs. Don't worry about it. I'll see you later. That was odd. Sad story is Beatrix, a more distressed damsel I've not seen. Like a raven circling an unwatched flock. There was definitely something bothering her. I'm fine, fire away, my friend. Upon my honor, I will answer to the very best of my... It definitely sounds like Beatrix has a lot on her mind. What do you think? What do you make of it? Bold breaker of Castle Coasters. What is weighing on your flaxen-haired friend? Beatrix was closely and trapped in the portrait for nearly a year. That can't be easy to recover from. You have struck at the heart of the matter. Beatrix must be brooding over the accursed past. I must say, you're not looking too chipper yourself. What's troubling you? It's my brother. I need to talk to him, but I don't know how to contact him. That mischief-making Nav. Jacob is nowhere to be found. He and had his troublesome lieutenant were infamous for the day. You mean Duncan Ash? That's the rogue. I wonder if Charlie would join me for another trip to see him. I'll burn it up over by the Bee of the Three Broomsticks. So what did you want to talk about? Duncan. I need to see him. You don't mince words. Why do you need to see Duncan? I want to get in touch with my brother, and he may know of a way to do that. It wouldn't be a trip to the prefect's bathroom without my good friend Charlie. You don't need me to get in there. I need your help. Duncan's unpredictable, but we can handle him together. Never that fond of visiting him. Isn't there some other way you could track Jacob down? I understand that you have some misgivings, but we can talk about those. Oh, fuck. Oh, I was semi-close and 28 knowledge. What's in it for me? My undying loyalty. And then 20, yeah, boom, bada bing. Very well, you have convinced me. Visiting Duncan may be our best option after all. Ready to head back to Hogwarts? Feels odd visiting him without Bill. Everything about Hogwarts felt odd without Bill, at least at first. I thought I'd gotten used to it, but coming here without him, you weren't as used to it as you thought. I know the feeling. I keep thinking I've made my peace with Rowan being gone, and then I come across some place where I have some memory of him that I had forgotten about. Duncan, we have been looking for you. I suppose you were eavesdropping on us. Don't get too attached to those memories of your friend. Always move on in the end. Seems a bit unfair, doesn't it? I think we shouldn't forget the past. There's so much we can learn from it. And what do you hope to learn from it today? No one ever comes by unless they want something from me. That's on me for not visiting more often. It's alright. You're making me feel bad for getting cross with you now. It would be nice to hear about your adventures firsthand rather than always relying on eavesdropping. Blimey, it sounds like you have had a worse you than I have. I'm glad you came by. Even listening to your sob stories is better than sitting alone. And now for the quid pro quo. What do I owe you for the social call? I was hoping you knew something that might help me get in touch with my brother. Good luck with that. In my experience, Jacob only cares about Jacob. If you absolutely must find him, you could try the boathouse down by the lake. We used to hold secret meetings there when we were looking for all. Not that we knew we were looking for them, of course. I'll promise I'll do a better job visiting. I suppose that was a goodbye. Shall we go check the boathouse? So this is where Duncan and my brother used to hold the secret meetings. It's strange, I've never been in here, and yet I feel the hauntedness we were talking about earlier. I don't think so. Somehow just knowing that Duncan and my brother used to hang around here, I don't know, it puts everything in a strange light. They were such good friends back then, before everything went wrong. I don't know if I'm in the before or after stage or both. Not even remotely, I have more questions than ever. We can find something here that will cross at least one question off your list. Now, yeah, I suppose it was a little optimistic to think we'd just stumble across something. What's that over there? A feather? Or a black quill? A paraphrase? A note? It's from Jacob. What does it say? Pip, if you are reading this, Duncan's told you about a secret meeting place. Loads I want to talk to you about, but Let's is not the place to do it. You ever need me, cast Vermilius by the shore of the Black Lake. If I'm near enough to see it, I'll come find you. You couldn't have asked for a better find. I have to wonder if my brother's close enough to see red sparks from the show. Why hasn't he contacted me already? A whole lot of other questions. You're not coming with me. This is between you and your brother. I know better than to get in the middle of that. I'm off to the Black Lake. Then hopefully my brother will have some answers for me. Let me see if you're good to you. There's something in my eye. Vermilius. You found my letter, I did. Not that it was easy or anything. I know I haven't been the best brother to you. So much of that, what you have been through, has been my fault. Just like it's my fault your friend Warren died. Your fault? How? You couldn't have stopped Wickpick from killing Warren. I could have stopped her years ago, but instead I let her use me to gain more and more power. Every terrible thing she's done since then is on me. Perhaps you should never have freed me from that portrait. You can't really claim to be responsible for every decision Wakepick's made. I never told you why I started working with Wakepick, did I? Don't you see, Pip, after I was expelled, I felt like I was a complete failure. I didn't see any way forward. When Wakepick asked me for my help finding the vaults, it gave me a sense of purpose. We would find treasure and power together, that we would share them. By the time I realized she was using me for my legitimacy, it was too late. The Bay Vault was open. Done since I helped her is my fault, don't you understand? You didn't make those choices, Wakepick did. That's why we need to find her and bring her to justice. I have to do this alone. I can't risk you getting hurt. You shouldn't have to bear the burden of my failures. So long as I know you're safe and happy, I'll be happy. You can't just ask me to. Is that a student? Oh, shit. Is that Ben? No, that's Beatrix. Oh, we have to help her. Oh, fudge. How the hell? At least she's alive. What happened? Why am I in the hospital? And I remember the lake. The lake's where you found you. You were floating in the lake. Do you remember? I do remember going to the lake. I'll tell you everything I can remember. So you went to the lake because of the nightmares you've been having? I've been having nightmares about what that white-robed wizard, the one who appeared at the lake shore. I wanted to face my fears to prove it was only a silly lake, but that's when I saw it. Saw what? I don't know exactly. It looked like a giant tentacle. This was my chance to do some reconnaissance for the Circle Kahana. I did. I thought perhaps I could learn something that would help us find the final vault. How could you be so foolish? I just wanted to stop being so afraid and make myself useful. Thank you for taking care of her. I'm so grateful to you and all the healers filling in for Madame Pomfrey. Thanks, Cedric. We ought to look you over just in case. A good healer never takes a patient at her word. We better do that. We'll leave it to you then. I'm worried about Beatrix. She says she's alright, but then She talks about these nightmares. I don't know how to help her. To understand these nightmares, we'll need someone who understands the inner workings of the human mind. Someone like Snape, in other words. May not be the nicest person, but he's a skilled legilimens and occupants. Perhaps he can help Beatrix understand her nightmares. I'll take Beatrix to the potions classroom as soon as Chao and Cedric are done with her. Dane, it is to my understanding that Miss Haywood was meant to be recuperating in the hospital inn. Please explain why you have brought her to my classroom. I thought you might be able to help Beatrix with something. There's little I can do that a good night's rest won't accomplish faster. Then I recommend a potion for dreamless sleep, although I'd rather think you ought to be able to brew that yourself. I can't just take a potion every night for the rest of my life. They have been happening for weeks. I assume they were the results of your recent near-death experience. If you have been suffering nightmares for as long as you say, that is indeed more serious matter. I was hoping you could use legitimacy to help us understand the cause of these nightmares. Yes, but you don't feel experienced enough to handle such a sensitive matter. I will do what I can to determine the cause of these nightmares. You will need to only relax your mind. I will peer into your memories and see what I make of them. Legilimens. Well, Professor, what did you see? I'm sorry to say, but in examining Miss Haywood's mind, I struggled to tell what nightmare from reality. It's clear you have been through more than any student your age should have to. As for these nightmares, I'd venture to guess that they are the result of repression. Repression your trauma? Good question. When you find out, let me know. Perhaps we ought to look elsewhere for that sort of advice. Alright then, talk later, Beatrix. I have to go see Ismelda anyways. You're welcome, Miss Haywood. What did you want to talk to me about? I imagine finding Miss Haywood in the lake was unsettling given recent events. How have you been dealing with your own unhappy memories? I've found the best way to deal with trauma is to take action and fight it back. Sitting around feeling sorry for yourself doesn't get you anywhere. These are dark times after all. I suggest you keep your head down and experiment with behaving like a normal Hogwarts student. Suppose I'd better see how Beatrix is feeling about everything. If she's meeting Ismelda, they will likely be in the courtyard. What did Snape want to talk about? He was checking in on me with everything that's happened this year. So, is there someone else named Snape at the school? That doesn't sound like the Snape I know. And he helped Beatrix with her nightmares too. I don't see how forcing someone to relive the nightmares is helpful. I think the best thing you can do is just try to move on and forget about it. No more of this mucking about at the lake. I don't want to just pretend it didn't happen. If pretending it didn't happen keeps you out of the lake, then that's what I'd recommend. Do you get what I'm saying? I get it. You're proud of who you have become. I don't want to move on if it means letting go of the person I've become. Perhaps you can move on without losing those parts of yourself that you like. It requires a little strategy. Why don't we discuss it over a game of gobstones? I just thought I might take some of the pressure off, that's all. What do you think? Up for a game of gobstones? Let's play, and perhaps you can help me feel ready to move on. You won't be that different. Will my nightmares go away? Only time will tell. Now I'm ready to make a change. So, what do you say? Ready to start the next chapter of your life? Now I feel like I can move on from my past without breaking ties with the person I've become. Where's that? The grand staircase? Follow me. Because I don't understand, why did you want to come here of all places? This is where I spent my first year. Trapped in a portrait. It's time I made peace with the fact I have to walk down the stairway every day. It's literally a daily reminder of the worst thing that's happened to me. Just passing through, why can't I do the same? Not all of us are just passing through, I'll have you know. I've been all over the castle and I'd not trade places with another portrait anytime soon. Perhaps, but I'm not a portrait, at least. I wasn't meant to be. You shouldered a burden far beyond your years. You might not have chosen that burden, but in facing it, you demonstrated all the qualities of a true knight. Shall I run you through your qualifications? I think that would be just what Beatrix needs. In summary, you have exhibited the courage, honesty, and steadfastness befitting of a knight of the realm, the very qualities that the noble Death Stalkers revealed when faced with my trials. Thank you for everything you have done for me. Thanks for everything you have done for me, too, Sir Callaghan. I'm glad I came here. Come back anytime you need a refresher on your knightly virtues. Especially the one about my giant squid. You never mentioned the nightmare about the giant squid. I didn't only dream about what happened to me at the Black Lake. I also dreamt about what might lie beneath it. Now may be the time for the Sokol Kahana to prepare for the dangers that lie beneath the lake.